A magnificent revolution of individual sparks uniting. June 7, 2013. Along your way of working to awaken the collective of humanity, you've met and will meet certain obstacles and things that seem to stand in your way of sufficiently anchoring the light and spreading the truth you have come to the earth to anchor and spread. It's important to remember that absolutely everything happens for very divine and ordained reason, and even the seeming difficulty many of you have experienced doesn't have to bring you down or impede your progress in the manners it has at times. Every one of you is a strong, divine God spark of an infinite being of full consciousness, and as such, no temporary earthly pains or difficulties will ever stop you from shining your light onto every last aspect of your personal and collective experience that you're ready to help heal and cleanse. The cleansing of inner tendencies and ways of being and living in the collective of humanity will reflect the outer, widespread change you are to make to your physical environment. Dearest Gaia has seen pollution manifested tenfold on her surface, which has been largely brought about because of the immense distraction from such things humanity is subjected to. There are many changes for Gaia to make to her physical surface so that it can properly match the vibrations you will soon exist in, and no, dearest souls, we do not refer to catastrophic earth changes when we say this. Necessary, mitigated earth changes. There are very real and necessary changes for Gaia to make to her physical form that will involve moving certain parts of her surface around, but any potential needed changes will be brought about in a peaceful, gradual manner, and the collective of humanity will be informed before such things would take place. There will be no widespread physical changes that abruptly take people away from the areas they've lived and grown comfortable in. Again, Gaia will indeed be making changes, but what you experience will be much more in the way of the divine and less in the way of the destructive, catastrophic energies. When the free energy-based technology that was widely utilized by many of your ancient civilizations and in the times of Atlantis and Lemuria are disclosed and given to all, the pollution that's been fed will truly cease to be, and widespread prosperity, abundance, and ease of living will rapidly begin making their way to all of your civilizations. We don't encourage looking toward anyone other than yourselves to bring your future about, and to that extent, you have indeed worked very hard as a collective body to bring about many of the changes and expose the truths that you know and can feel within. We do, however, wish to inform you of the assistance we're to be giving and have given. For it is grand assistance indeed. We've been giving you assistance throughout every aspect of your earthly journeys, and specifically, our efforts were stepped up in what was only a moment ago in our non-concept of time, but what for you was nearly a century ago. When dearest Gaia made the call for as many beings of pure intent as possible to make their ways toward her surface to help awaken her collective. Gaia's clarion call. When the first atom bomb was created and exploded, a very devastating effect resulted in a plethora of realms beyond your third-dimensional surface. Gaia made the clarion call for any soul in the higher echelons of existence who wanted to help pull her out of the lower rungs of the third dimension and lower, to do just that. Every one of you who find yourselves awakening and who know and can latently feel within that you're on the earth as a part of a sacred and designated mission, responded to this call and made your way to the surface of the earth. Many of you incarnating and taking full life cycles upon dearest Gaia's surface. You did indeed train in plenty of higher realms for the lower dimensional experience you were to have and for the life cycles you were to incarnate under, because we don't exaggerate when we say that the earth experience is difficult and will test a soul of the higher dimensions to their very core. The collective of humanity, who've been on your planet for far longer than any amount of time that would see the immense density keeping them down exponentially, have grown used to the extremes of the earthly experience. However, many of you who made your way to the earth from the higher realms found difficulty in even taking on the feeling that is an immense collective weight and density, being bestowed onto you as you made your incarnations on the earth. The dear children of humanity who've come from the higher dimensions have been spoken of previously, and a large part of the mission of these dear children is to do what many of you grown light workers are doing, in anchoring an incredible amount of pure light unto the surface and collective consciousness of the earth. Crystal children and our introduction. This has been the mission of children who've incarnated as far back as your 80s and 90s, and every child who's grown to be conditioned by the earth experience is still a crystal child at their core, with lines and ties to the higher dimensions that most of the adults around them do not possess. The crystal children who've been conditioned by the earth experience will be activated for their greater mission in due time, and even while being conditioned and not consciously understanding of what they're doing, they're still anchoring much light onto the surface of the earth. Again, just as you dear souls are doing. You will be introduced to our collective in the time ahead, and the many Pleiadian souls who've been around your earth for quite a while will be happily excited to introduce ourselves to you and to let you know of the assistance we've been providing. We will continue to reaffirm that the assistance we've given has been grand indeed, and even despite this assistance, the personal responsibility that's meant to be taken by the collective of humanity, which is being taken up by the awakening collective, has always been known to be picked up on by a plethora of awakening earthly souls. When this personal responsibility is taken, the entire collective will unite and build the galactic society you've worked so very hard toward. We've always known and felt that with the mass activations taking place upon your world, which you are still kept largely unaware of, a magnificent revolution of individual sparks uniting and growing into fully conscious beings just cannot be stopped. Your evolution never stops. Your evolution can never cease, because you've always been meant to evolve and grow back into the realms of our omnipotent Creator. You've always been meant to refine the impressions of we souls existing in the higher realms, and you've always been meant to reconnect with your sacred God spark and to understand that at your core, you are the creator of the reality you find around you. You'll forever be guided onward from this point, toward understanding the realms of blissful and harmonious full consciousness. We ask you to see how bright your future truly is from this point, dear souls, as even from the very beginning when you first garnered an interest in ascension, you were assured to ascend. We've always wished for those of you who are actively interested in ascension yet worry that you somehow will not make it, to know that you're assured to ascend into the higher dimensions because of your sheer interest in ascension. We speak in a very energetic sense. As your interest in ascension, which is bred out of your natural subconscious desire to understand our Creator in the greatest ways possible, attaches a multitude of the ascension energies being delivered in every moment in increasing purity right toward you. You have responded to these energies quite favorably, awakening into greater understandings. Dear scribe, just a few years ago in your concept of time, you had garnered an interest in ascension yet were still largely focused on the outer aspects of your reality you were ready to see change. Since then, you've been initiated into a greater understanding that you're fully responsible for the reality you find around you, and that, when taking responsibility and working to change your reality into something that suits the experiences you know you deserve to have, you can truly do anything. Every one of you can create your realities to the extent of perfect and blissful existence in every moment. It is simply that humanity's existed in a limited reality wherein you were taught you had to work and earn your keep. Indeed, work is required to find the abundance we can feel so many of you wish to find, but it's not work in the sense of serving another all of your lives so that you can get by. The work we speak of is much more metaphysical in nature, and is derived from one's understanding of the law of attraction and the fact that you can create and manifest anything for yourselves that you truly need rather than simply want, if the sheer intent is put in and paired with the understanding that what you're doing is very, very real. As we make our final impressions for this communication, we express that the purest of glittered and colored vibrations are to make their way to you, and that you can attract an ever-increasing purity and quantity of these vibrations to yourselves in every moment. Nurture the connection to us and the higher realms growing within you, because every one of you is the most skilled of channelers. Thank you to the Pleiadian Council of Nine, and to SanJAsKa for being their conduit. Channeled through Wesanak. Wesanak.com. AquariusParadigm.com